Marketers don't need a crystal ball when they have real-time insights. Let your data lead. Visit the page to learn more.
Good afternoon. Today is Monday, September 20th, and welcome to Ad Age Remotely. I'm your host, Garrett Sloan, Senior Technology Reporter at Ad Age, and you can watch us at Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Twitch. I'm about to introduce Tesa Aragones, the CMO at Discord. So she will be joining us in just a moment, and we're going to be discussing everything the platform has gone through in the past year, how it's raised money, created its first ad campaign, starring Aquafina and Danny DeVito, and it brought new brands onto the platform, including gaming, fast food, fashion, media. So we'll get into this fascinating chat platform. So welcome, Tesa, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks, Garrett. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Absolutely. Me too. So we'll just get right to it, and I can ask you, as the CMO there at Discord, people need an explanation, I think, just right off the bat. What is Discord? How do you explain this to brands and agencies who are becoming more interested?
Discord is a communications platform. The company actually started about 6 years ago, and it was really built for gamers. And it has the ability where you can text, chat, you can do video. But we've actually been really fortunate in the past year or so. It's like the product works so well that we've been able to invite other people into the brand outside of gaming. And so now we have people who use Discord to connect on other passions, whether that's, cooking, gaming, students, people that do karaoke, sneakerheads like myself. And so, yeah, it's been fun to watch the brand evolve.
We can do karaoke on Discord because there's now an audio streaming aspect, or has there always been karaoke?
There has always been people who can do karaoke together. We do have a new social audio feature called Stages, and we launched that earlier this year, but we have a lot of creators. I don't know if you're a karaoke guy. I don't know what your go-to is, but yeah, there are people that do karaoke.
No comment on my karaoke skills. Now, there's the CEO, Jason Citron, has historically said, and so many startups say this, no ads. We don't, because, you have a gaming community. When you're starting up, there's an aversion to ad, but that doesn't mean brands aren't there. So you're seeing more brands do things, but no ads. What can brands do right now?
Yeah, it's true. Well, we do not have ads on our platform, and that has been from the beginning. But I do think as marketers, there's always an opportunity to connect with the consumers that you serve. And so, over the past year or so, we've seen a lot of brands come to Discord as a way to connect with community. And if you think of different social platforms, Discord is very unique in that it's not a broadcast culture, right? It's not like you post something and then, people experience it. And so, I think that for many people, Discord is more personal, and it's really about exchanging dialogue, and you feel like people are there. It's like you're around your friends. And also, what's important is on Discord, you can set up rules of interaction. And so we have moderation so that people feel safe. And so when you think about these brands that are coming to connect with communities, they have a way to connect with people that are fans of their brands, like an always on channel, right? And so when you think about creating brand experiences, that is something where we've seen a lot of activity. And I know you've covered some of that as well with some of the work with Skittles and Chipotle and the Olympics. But yeah, we've had a couple of interesting examples.
One I was going to recently was Flips. Here's the Jack in the Box one where I saw that they had done a late night Discord. And so those are the brands there. You had agencies come in and you showed them some case studies like this one. What are they? What exactly are you doing? When I'm a brand, I got my community set up. you have to establish a server, and that's sort of like your brand there, servers.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that's exactly right. When brands come on board, or they even come to us and say, "Hey, we want to set up a server," we'll work with a lot of brands to actually help them set up their servers. And just last month, for example, there was a brand, Gymshark. I don't know if you're familiar. They're a fitness apparel and accessories brand. And the way that they launched their server is that they created their very own well-being week. And what I love about that is that they're really leveraging what we offer on Discord in a way where they can provide guided workouts, health and nutrition seminars. They've used our stage channels, or AMAs, so that people can have conversations with Gymshark athletes. And so that one is very interesting. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Wendy's, so fast food you mentioned earlier. Actually, Wendy's is now the largest brand server on Discord with over 50,000 members. And I love it. They launched the Spice Club as part of their server. And they're finding ways to have interactive brand experiences. And then another example, a different side of the spectrum, is more like people who have passions around things. And so I'm going to use a Detroit example because I'm from Detroit. I'm dialing in from Detroit, but StockX is a company based here. And they actually worked with us to launch their first server right before StockX Day. And they currently, are the brand server that brought in the highest number of users in a 24-hour period, which is pretty cool. And so that's a place where sneakerheads like myself can see what's hot and what people are wearing that day.
That's right. StockX is the sneaker marketplace for sneakerheads. So that's,
yes,
like we said, fashion, fast food, gaming as the start of Discord, but it's expanded. And part of it is it started with private servers. Like you have a very sort of anonymous, they're called private servers, and you set those up, and you have to really have a code to get in, but you've got public servers that make it easier to get into the site if you're a brand. Is that a new development, public servers, and then discovering which ones you can actually subscribe to?
Yes. So, we've had private servers, and I think that's really we have most of our servers have under, like 50 to 100 people on it. But we do have public servers where it's like, trading sites, or, people who want to search for things that they have things in common with. But that usually starts with your small circle of friends and hanging out. And I think that's one of the differences, is that people feel that on Discord, you're hanging out with your friends. It's a more intimate setting. And it's interesting because I think that you can have your server and have very wide casting things to many fans, or you can have channels where you have the ability to have different conversations. I think a lot of musicians have actually done a really great job of this. Where they create proximity and intimate exchanges with their fans on Discord. So we're seeing a lot of that.
And we're looking at the Discovery tab here, which is where you would search for a brand or an influencer or a gaming channel, and that's where you'll see them be more accessible.
Yes.
No sponsored ads in there. I can get my channel up if you could let me promote it more.
Yeah, no advertising, but I will say that it's like when you have a brand and you have a connection with your audience, I think that's one of the things that's really valuable for marketers that are out there, is that this is an opportunity where it's not about just a transaction. It's really about like a connection or emotional connection with your brand. An opportunity to build brand loyalty, if you will. And also it's like an opportunity to listen. It's a constant opportunity to hear what's important to people who are in your community and fans of your brand.
And like you just mentioned, with, say, Wendy's as an example, you have Wendy's, which is on Twitch. Obviously on Twitter, they're a very popular account to follow. They just have these digital hooks, and they're doing a lot more digitally. And then they get Discord, and it's almost like a new platform. People call this like the Web 3.0 level. Twitter may have been the first or second iteration. Now Discord at Web 3.0. What does that mean in terms of what brand should be thinking about? What is Web 3.0? Is that metaverse? And how does Discord fit into that?
Yes, I think the best way to describe it is in the voice of our consumers. And when we talk to consumers, they talk about Discord being a place where it's separate from their home life, it's separate from their school life or their work life. And they used to call it a third place where they could hang out with their friends and just, do things that they were interested in. Today, that could be the metaverse. I think that it definitely is a way that people have this place where they can connect and be with their friends and be themselves. And I think that's really important.
Now, you've given me a good overview of Discord, and we're going to get into in a moment the ad campaign that you helped produce that explains Discord to everyone. But before we do, I do have to throw it to our sponsor. I want to thank Salesforce and have a quick break before I get to ask you.
Great.
Behind every great marketing strategy is great marketing data. Let your data lead. Visit the page to learn more.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Garrett Sloan, technology reporter at Ad Age, talking with Discord CMO Tesa Aragones, and we're talking Discord. I was about to ask you about the ad campaign. Imagine a place with two internet people who are very popular online, Aquafina and Danny DeVito. They have tremendous fan bases. So you brought them in to do an ad campaign, the first ever for Discord. How did this explain your service, and what was the inspiration for the campaign?
The inspiration really is I've been at Discord for about a year now, just over a year. And when I landed, I'm a big believer in consumer insights. And one of the things that I did is I worked with the team to really talk to some consumers to be like, what does Discord mean to you? Because I think it's important as marketers that not only do we listen to our consumers and understand how we can serve them, but really help define what we stand for. And in our insight process, we actually spoke to consumers and we would ask them, what does Discord mean to you? And they would say things like, well, imagine. And that would be how they would lead their description of Discord. And, they're super creative in our communities, and they were constantly coming up with, weird and awesome ways to describe Discord. But they also describe it as a place. And that gets back to your question, Garrett, about the metaverse. And I think that this campaign wouldn't have been possible without some of our amazing users, because the creative concept actually came from them. And we worked with a few of our community members to actually write the campaign. And so we didn't really start off the project thinking, let's make a short commercial. We actually said, let's make a short film that helps tell the stories of the consumers that use our platform and bring their story to life. And at the end of the movie, we give them credit because they're creators. And, as a creator myself, if I was, a young creator, having the opportunity to partner with a brand like Discord and have a credit at the end would have meant a lot to me. So we want to celebrate them in that way.
Maybe we could watch a 15-second moment from the commercial so we could see how you explain the platform there. If we can have a look.
I have no idea what this is for.
Discord, it's like...
Imagine a place.
You still don't know what Discord is?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. I can see it now.
Okay, Danny.
And that's it.
That was a trailer.
There. That was the trailer. There's a 5-minute version that we'll get through next time when we have the whole hour together, perhaps. But So it was, you have Danny DeVito, Aquafina. How did you choose Danny DeVito? He seems like he's sort of just like someone everyone online likes for some reason. Did you do some research into that?
We did. Actually, it's like we were very specific in working with our users to select the talent and casting, right? And so Danny DeVito was actually, well, first of all, he's a legend, and the opportunity to work with him was incredible. But he is a actor that many of our creative community members, they just would love to see him in a Discord movie. And so we were able to speak with Danny, and he was up for it, and that was incredible. I think as far as Aquafina is concerned, also, she's having an amazing year. But she was someone that really is very popular with our audience. She's a gamer. She uses Discord a ton. And it was also important for me. I really wanted to have a female lead and a person of color to have some diversity in our campaign. And so not just Aquafina because she's a gamer and because she uses Discord, but I really like the rapport that she has with Danny. They've worked together a few times. And, I don't know if you've seen in the trailer, we had other people, like we had Marcus Brownlee, who is on YouTube as a tech influencer, Mr. Beast, a gamer, Grimes, also having a big year, Jay Balvin and Bretman Rock. So all of those appearances were people that were selected and by our users.
Yeah, those are all obviously very beloved and online influential people. And this was also your first big push for Discord as a company to get it out in the marketplace. You're the new CMO, came in last year. What do you say is the vision when you get that job? Like, what do you say to say, I'm going to take this to a new level? In which capacity?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, I really am so grateful for the opportunity to work at Discord and have this chance to actually invite people into this brand. I think our mission around creating space to help people find belonging is so important, and certainly one that so many people have experienced, especially in the past 18 months. The product is so good. There is certainly great signal from our community, as well as all of our users that give us feedback on how we can continue to make it better. But as a marketer, it's not just about our growth. I mean, we have over 150 million monthly active users now. But as a marketer, it's been a dream for me to be able to really tell people what we stand for. And our brand awareness is increased 1.5 times in the past year in 2021. And our brand consideration has increased 1.4 times in the past year. And if you're a marketer, like growing brand strength and brand metrics is tough, but it just really speaks to the talent of the team and to the power of the product during this time.
Yes, and I see some of the work behind you is probably from companies you worked at before Volkswagen. I see on your wall. You worked at Nike.
Yes.
So you have a history in marketing and branding. And one of the companies I was interested in was Visco. You had a startup position there, which is a different kind of startup than Discord in terms of probably aesthetic or even the types of users.
Yes.
It's more people have a mentality of like, oh, what's the typical Visco person? What's their aesthetic like? And it's very different than Discord, I imagine. How do you make that adjustment? And how do you see the difference?
As a marketer, and I think about my career, I have a passion for digital communities and how they can connect people. I think this is my personal Visco page. You can see things that I love. I love sneakers. I love cars. I love my family. But yeah, when I was brought on to Visco as their CMO, the founders had built the product for people like them, creators in their mid-30s. And when I joined, there was this influx of Gen Z, largely young girls, flocking to Visco as kind of a safe space to explore their creativity. And so it was really around more that aesthetic of like, they would post it, they would edit it, they would post it again and get feedback. And for the ones that they really loved, they would broadcast it into a wider net. And so I think the thread between creating Nike Training Club for Nike or serving the creative community at Visco to working at Discord, where there are millions of communities that are looking for ways to connect with like-minded people. I think that really is the thread for me.
Do you have a Discord user that's sort of like the quintessential that you're now telling marketers they're going to be able to reach? I know the communities can be vast, but still there's probably a Discord personality type, is there?
Well, I think that it's like as I've mentioned with our growth over the past year, because the product serves fundamental human needs for connection and belonging, we've been seeing more and more people coming to use Discord. I will say that we are serving a lot more creators, a lot of students, but it's really passion centric, because if you understand how to use the service, you can have all kinds of groups on your server where you can connect with and talk about things that you want to share with them. We have people that, one of my favorite examples, Garrett, is actually there's a server that exists that they have stage channels for English as a second language, and talk about creating a safe space where they practice doing stand-up and they tell jokes in English. And, growing up as first generation, I can completely appreciate needing a safe space where people can practice. And actually, it's fun.
Well, speaking of, one of the safety aspects is to have things that are able to keep out people who are not good for communities. And those are probably some of the tools that you do build too, where their brands talk about that too when they want to be on a platform.
Yes.
And we don't want the brand to get bombarded by some bad elements or whatever you would want to call them. Do you have certain a roadmap for making sure that everything can be vetted and safe?
Yes, actually, we take safety, trust and safety extremely seriously. We have a zero tolerance for hate on our platform. And the company's been investing in growing trust and safety aspects to keep our members safe. One thing that we do work with when brands come to us and set up their servers is we talk about the experience that they want to create. We give them guidance on how to put into place moderation. And so we even have the Moderation Academy that will help brands get started. So yes, it is something that we have invested in, and it's growing. So thank you for bringing that up.
And talking about different types of communities, we've seen a lot of music tie-ins, as we mentioned before. And last year we saw we see sort of big artists like Lady Gaga. She had something tied in last year with VMA. And then this year you were presenting partner with VMA. So what's the link between Discord and pop music?
Gosh, we have so many artists that have been joining Discord. You can imagine in the past 18 months when they're not touring as much, this is a way where creators can connect with their fan base. And partnering with MTV for the VMAs, it seemed like the perfect fit for us. I mean, as someone who has watched the VMAs for decades, I love how they can bring music fans together for one global event with the unifying idea that they're celebrating creative communities. And that really is at the core of our mission, right? To have creators and help people find belonging. But the sponsorship that we did actually focused on what they call the professional categories. And this was a way that we could champion creators, but also communities that drive the culture forward. So that included best cinematography, best direction, visual effects, art direction, editing, and choreography. And so leading up to the VMAs, we actually had an AMA for fans leading up to the event with 2 nominees. Both who actually won on award night, which is incredible. And the first one was Paul Roberts. He partnered with Harry Styles for treat people with kindness, and he won for best choreography. I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's very like beautifully done, and it really takes Harry Styles, artistry to another level. And then also we worked with Tanu, who worked with Lil Nas X on Montero, Call Me By My Name, and she won for Best Direction. So I think if you've seen that video as well, and you think about the metaverse, I loved her use of different, mediums and treatments for her creative storytelling, and so that was pretty incredible.
Now,
I would say,
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's like that event itself, if you love music, it's not just about the event. We've also taken it to, online extensions. So we worked with Spotify and Vivo and Snap to do takeovers. And we also did a Subway branded wallpaper and wallscapes in the subways around the Barclays Center. So if you're in New York, check them out. It was a lot of fun to work with them. Jason White over there, he's the CMO. We've known each other since the Nike days, and he's a fabulous marketer as well.
And speaking of just music, VMAs, pop culture, you're into the trends on Discord. I mean, there's this sort of like internet community is where trends pop up, what people are talking about. What are you seeing outside just that may be surprising to people that you're just sort of picking up on, like what's happening in the metaverse and the Discord world?
Well, I think there's really two things in that question. With artists in particular, they are coming to Discord to do a lot of things that are new and different and give their fans a chance to connect with them. One thing that we see a lot of, Garrett, is actually NFTs. And so to bridge the question, we've seen, for instance, Portugal the Man, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, Liam Payne from One Direction. They have all started and launched their servers to feature an NFT component. And so that's been really interesting to watch. There's a company called One Of. They launched their server, and they host various artists, but they had an NFT that they worked with Doja Cat, and they promoted that last week. So that is, one area that we're seeing.
Yeah, the NFTs obviously are just on everyone's mind. So that's very interesting component to see it filter through to Discord. Is there something that having a Discord server connects to those virtual and cryptocurrency? Is there something other than chat that maybe brands don't realize Discord is building a layer for? That you're starting to see the seeds of right now?
Yeah, I think that one thing that we have been doing some experiments with has been monetization. And, what we want to do is be able to give creators on Discord the ability to have the best experiences for the consumers that are in their servers. And so, we have some partnerships that we've done with, Patreon and Twitch and YouTube, and learning more about that. So more to come in the future on that.
Monetization and the influencer space. That's always going to be a hot topic for us and everyone. So that's our time today. So I could go with you all afternoon, but you've been generous so far. So thank you for doing this.
I really appreciate you having me on the segment today. And, the one thing that I did want to mention was just about, working at Discord, we have a vision, which is, how we define success, which is an inclusive world where no one feels like an outsider. And so for the marketers that are watching, we want to invite more people in. But I think that it's an opportunity for us to help people be more inclusive in the work that we do.
Absolutely. And when I talk to marketers and brands, so many of them are talking about Discord. So I think you'll probably see that happen a lot more and hear from you a lot more coming up. So thank you again.
I appreciate it, Garrett. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
And before I do sign off, I'm going to thank you to our sponsor, Salesforce. And as always, thank you to our Ad Age crew, Arabella Breck, Alfred Mascaroni, Anna Sakula, and thanks to the audience out there for making the live stream happen.